Hey dumplings, it's Dave Decide. Today I want to get into the album, and our Tay kind of spoiled us on Instagram and maybe what his reaction is to how some armies and fans are reacting to the news of the album and comeback. I also want to get into the news of BTS and World Tour. Some people believe it was cancelled and others believe it's not, so let's discuss that. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, teaspoon mug merch, and let's get into it. BTS has had a long awaited comeback, and I wanted to get into all the deets, how to order the album, what you'll get, the songs, and all that, and I will talk about that later. But I do have to get into the World Tour first. I think one of the most awaited things is this tour. During their previous smaller comeback, let's say with Dynamite and stuff, they attracted a lot of new fans and American armies. This was very interesting because now when they are doing shows, every concert gets mainstream coverage. Whereas typically with most even American artists, they stop getting as much coverage once they go on tour. News sites will cover their music videos and appearances, but not what they do in a stadium. And the reason why was because during BTS's last round in Las Vegas, the whole city turned purple. I mean, good luck ignoring that. BTS came out and talked about their tour comeback being on June 10th. This is awesome. We have been waiting. And so there were definitely analysts and people who were predicting that BTS will have their world tour in July and onwards. Just to clarify once again, these predictions were made by analysts, not officially the HYBE team yet. So analysts make these predictions so that stock investors can know and think, okay, BTS is making their comeback, maybe this is a good time to invest. Because typically the stock can go up when an artist makes their comeback, and you'll see a huge rise in album sales during that first week. But these are just predictions, and their predictions are not made by the official company, so in that same respect, HYBE can literally just be like, COVID cases are too high here and there, and just ultimately decide maybe a tour is not worth it, and they would rather ARMY be safe. And I do have full trust that if they do decide to do the tour, that they would have ARMY's best interest and would not do the concert if it was dangerous to do so. Because not only is it dangerous for the audience, but if COVID was going about in the stadium, the boys can get it again. However, while these rumors of cancellation were happening, there were a lot of rumors of the world tour actually still happening. People did take what the analysts said as like they have inside information, but they are not allowed to, so it is still just a prediction, but there were more solid evidence of the tour happening. Sort of, as solid as you can get, I guess. But randomly out of nowhere, people noticed that airport Twitter accounts were tweeting out BTS lyrics or making some sort of BTS reference. I initially thought, okay, so like 2 airports, like what's the big deal? But no, like probably all the airports in America and maybe even some overseas. It was so weird to see them all put together on one page, and really you saw how many. It's strange in my opinion to have a Twitter account for an airport. I don't know what the point is. People have no choice what airport to choose. Most cities just have one, so it doesn't make people want to visit that airport more. I don't know. People took all these airports that were tweeting out BTS stuff to mean that BTS was going to visit that airport soon. So the same way that Vegas honored BTS by going purple, I think that these airports' way of honoring BTS for their visit, and every airport who tweeted out could potentially be where BTS will be flying to for the tour. It could be a publicity stunt like the HYBE team contacted all these airports, because if this was true and these are all the cities that BTS will tour, well, how did these airports know BTS will be there? Because it hasn't been released publicly. The airports probably have people who are speaking with someone from the inside of HYBE, and if not, then it's simply just that these airports are just a part of the ARMY fandom. If you're a social media person who manages the accounts, you likely know what goes on Twitter, and BTS is trending every other day, so you might think, let me jump on these trends. It's not totally uncommon for that to happen. This is how BTS gets a lot of their new fans too. So what do you think? Do you think the world tour is cancelled over the COVID cases potentially rising again? Or do you think the airports were like, nope, they're still coming, and BTS will hit those cities' airports that tweeted out BTS references? Love to hear your opinions on that. Either way, whether BTS decides to tour or not, we still get some new content and new things that are exciting. BTS is having a comeback, I think we all know this now, but there's been some backlash on the comeback and everything since the trailer dropped and since the notice on Weverse was dropped. So, a backstory on the album itself. It is currently available for pre-order, so definitely get it if you want to support. I'm excited to hear some of the new songs, but Weverse decided to describe this album as a collection or an anthology. If you're unaware of what this means, I think most of the fandom has no idea, and I don't think I even have a full understanding, but my theory is this. So an anthology is just a collection of songs, and since after the comeback teaser was dropped, the one they aired in the Las Vegas concert, BTS showed their compilation of their old work, and then recently they dropped another trailer, and it was a digital clock and showed all of their work from their debut to now, and then announced the album's name, Proof. I did do a first time reaction to this on my Patreon, like just woke up fresh had a better reaction, link below. But HYBE called this album an anthology. We can assume it's going to be a collection of their hit songs from all these eras and then possibly remastered songs or songs that they never released in the past, and then also 3 new songs. So my theory is that even though most of the new album will be old songs, it will be old songs with a different sound to it and or hearing songs that they kind of threw away in the past. So it will still feel like a new album. There's also a set you can order with things like photo cards and stuff like that. So if you order the album, it won't just be some songs, you'll also get some goodies. But there was a lot of hate over this announcement. People were very upset over this idea that the album almost felt recycled. Like people said it was just lazily put together because it's a bunch of old songs. But if it's all remastered and remixed, I don't see the problem with that. It can still feel like a fresh new album. And if they even have one new song, it can definitely still be a single. A lot of people really want a BTS album to be completely new with like 14 songs or whatever, and a lot of people were protesting and furious at HYBE for creating this. And then also saying that they need to remove the album and redo a quote-unquote proper one. And I can understand this. Personally, I don't see why BTS would choose not to do a full 14-song album unless there was something going on behind the scenes. When COVID hit and Map of the Soul was released right before then, it was such a hit to the company and to BTS. Imagine learning a choreography like On and practicing it and learning it front and back to only recently have ever performed it live at a concert. And B was released after that. So they had to learn a whole new discography while never having promoted the previous one. It's a waste of their time and efforts and of course company money. Now why am I saying this? Imagine if they're learning a whole new 14-track album with 14 different dances only for Jin to go to the military and then having to redo those dances and redo the album so they can still look full on stage without Jin dancing or singing there, because as we know, the government did not give an update on their exemption yet, and so the boys have no idea if there is even a point to coming up with a whole new complex concept and do a promotion for it. They're in this weird limbo right now that no other artist has ever been in. So please just bear with them for a little while until this all gets sorted out, and then we all will see a full album. I really believe so. Sometimes when you see something weird and kind of out of character, you have to look behind the curtain a little bit and see what could be going on. And I don't know this as fact. This is just my conspiracy, but I can say that I am supporting them regardless because I really believe they're having a very difficult time right now, and it's easy as fans to just sit and complain when we don't know. Of course, the boys and the company can't come out and talk about this. Imagine if HYBE just tweeted out, "Hurry up, government," and the government gets pissed off and it's just like, all right, forget it, everyone go to the military now. So they have to wait patiently, and of course this means it's going to be weird for the fandom right now. But again, this is just a theory. V has been on Instagram posting about the comeback. He recently posted a story where he remixed Life Goes On and added new lyrics and stuff. And I don't know if this was recorded ages ago or if he just remixed it recently. But the song ended up with him saying 36.5, which at the time he posted that was exactly 36.5 days from the comeback date. And this can also mean that we will hear songs like this on the album where it could be like the Dynamite beat, but just a completely new song over it. And also goes to show that I am sure BTS is aware of some people not being happy that it's not a full album with entirely new songs. But it also goes to show that BTS, or V specifically, is very proud of this new album and new release. I interpret his post as him saying that he is still excited for the release and hopes that we will look forward to it too. And I definitely do. I mainly do hope that there will be a music video, so if we at least get one of those, I am a happy camp. But I want to hear your thoughts. Were you excited to hear that BTS will be releasing an anthology, or were you some of the people that were upset? And if you are upset, are you at least excited for the 3 new songs? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.